This has been one super hot, super dry, drought-ridden summer here in Pennsylvania. I'm actually going to take a walk through this little park here. Hopefully, since we've gotten about 5 inches of rain here in the past week, maybe something's finally growing. I gotta walk back to my car though because I forgot mushroom bags. Hopefully I'll need to use them here pretty soon. I want to get out and find some stuff today, so we're gonna go a couple different places and see what we can find. Parks like this, just a simple little town park or a state park, where you take your kids to play or walk, are actually a good place to look for mushrooms because they usually contain a nice mix of deciduous trees, coniferous trees. They don't generally use pesticides in like the planting beds, for like all the different flowers and plants that they put around the park. And they're just generally easy to walk through. So this is if you don't live in an area where you have a lot of like wooded parts to walk around in like I do, just go to your local park and walk around. You'll be surprised what you find there. In fact, I'm going to be going to another park after this one to see what we can get ourselves into. But look at these. Yeah, these. I can't remember the scientific name of these guys right here. But boy, they grow big, don't they? These aren't very good eating, though. They take a lot of cooking to become tender enough to eat. So we'll just let those go. Some type of little amanitas here, a cluster of amanitas. I don't know if it's Amanita muscara or not, but you can see, boy, the slugs are loving these guys. And you can see right here, when we get down to the very bottom, guess it's growing from a bulb. It's definitely bulbous at the end. It has that trademark Amanita, like warts on top. And it has a ring that is a remnant of the veil. Oops, sorry. Of the veil that's left behind from whenever the mushrooms are first developing. We'll just let that guy there. There's quite a few here, and they are pretty looking mushrooms, but nothing that we really want. So we'll just let the slugs have them. Well, something's growing. Look at all these little guys. Oh, these are so pretty. Wow. I'll see if I can figure out what they are for sure here. Oh, little buggies crawling all over me. That's okay. You come out here in the woods, you're going to get bugs on you. But look at that. They are just absolutely covering this log. So, I think I'm going to take some pictures. Oh, down here is some better clusters of them. Look at you. Wow. I'll take some pictures of these clusters. Oh, I knew it. There are just mushrooms everywhere growing. Surprisingly, not a polypore. Over here, some crust fungus. Right there. Right there. Just look at the amount of, variety of fungal life on this one little stick here. That's just amazing. And even down here on the ground, we have another kind of mushroom growing. Right here. Ooh. Oh, wow. Look at those elegant little dudes. Nice. Hello there. What are you? Ooh, boy, they're pretty. Not quite sure what they are, but they are pretty. I wonder if these are false chanterelles. Boy, they might be. I don't know. I'll kind of look into this and see if I can figure out what they may be. Let me take a picture of them so that I can easily identify them. Well, more easily research them, I should say. I'm pretty sure this is a nice birch polypore. This is an old birch tree. Like this piece right here is the part that fell off of this one right here. And look, there's a smaller one on this. So I'm going to pick this one instead of that big one. We'll leave that big one go. Let's take, oh yeah. Definitely a polypore. In fact, the pores, this is actually so fresh. The pores on the underside of this are so small that you can't really tell that this is the polypore. That's pretty neat. Alright, upon further examination, these are not aborted entoloma. These are the ones I initially found and thought that they might have been. And then I found this one, I was like, that's a parroticized bolete, I think. I couldn't be 100% sure because it has this, you know, white fungus growing on it. But look at this one right growing by them. A fully developed bolete with a smaller one attached that's being parasiticized by the same type of fungus. So definitely not a Bordetelloma, but really cool nonetheless. Wow. Look at these clusters of, I think they're, yeah, this isn't a crown tip coral. This is probably straight branched coral. Let me turn my flash on. There we go. Wow. See, this is growing directly off this very rotted log. So some people probably do confuse this with crown tip coral, but one very easy way to differentiate this from crown tip coral is these don't have little crowns on the tips of the mushrooms. And they also have a very unpleasant, astringent odor to them. And the branches grow almost vertically up. They don't branch out at all. And it's a shame. I don't think that straight branch coral is inedible. I just think that it's not very palatable, so a lot of people don't eat it. So, still, look at that. Get a close up of this guy. I knew something would be growing today because it's getting to the end of the growing season for most mushrooms around here. And pretty much right now, since we finally got some rain, it's an now or never for them, at least for this season. So they're probably going to seize the opportunity and put out as many fruiting bodies as they possibly can right now so they can potentially spore off. So maybe we'll get lucky and find some good edible species today. We'll see. But still, man. Oh, this is pretty perfect. Growing on the same exact down tree that straight branch coral was on, here at the other end, we do have some actual crown tip coral. And you can see the little crowns on the ends there? And, yep, they have I don't know how to describe the scent. It's like delicious black pepper. It's so good. But this is why you have to be careful with these crown tip corals sometimes, because perfectly seen right here, crown tip coral growing on this tree. And I'm just going to do this all in one shot. We'll walk you all the way down this tree. Keep going, keep going, keep going, until we get to this end. And right there is some straight branch coral. And here, since I already have these ones closer to me, see the difference? These are more branched out. They spread out a little further. The branches aren't as long as the straight branch coral here. These ones are way, way, way bigger. Now so you can tell the difference side by side here. Awesome. Good Lord. Look at all the witch's butter on this tree. Huh. Yeah, apparently you can eat this, but from what I hear, it's more of like kind of just like adding a textural thing to like a soup or a stew or something like that. You don't just fry these up and eat them as is. Really neat looking though. Although, to be honest with you, they don't look all that appetizing to me. But hey, to each their own. All right, another nice cluster of crown tip coral. Whenever you compare this to that straight branch coral, it just looks completely different. Nice. Take this and cook it up for lunch. Well, dang, I wasn't really expecting to find these today. Chanterelles. Huh. Generally, at least stop growing in like August. But like I said, a lot of these mushrooms know that right now it's now or never, since it's been such a hot freaking dry summer. Yeah, they're still very edible. So we'll just take them up and throw them in the mushroom cook pot. Nice. Turkey tail for days and days. Trimedes versicolor. Definitely little turkey tails. Look at all these guys. White underside. Definitely a porous surface. Nice variety of colors on the top. And they're just absolutely covering this tree. A lot of people like these for medicinal purposes. I don't really do anything with them, but they are really, really nice to look at. Wow. I like how there's like an older part right here, and then the rest are just like these. Oh, this is actually, right here, this is the turkey tail. And then these older ones right here with the algae growing on them, these are actually a different kind. That's why they're so, this is violet tooth polypore. That's why they look different. That's neat. Well, fall is definitely here because we have some honey mushrooms. Definitely honey mushrooms. And the nice thing about honey mushrooms, whenever they're in this state of development, is the whole fruiting body is edible. You can eat the stalk, you can eat the cap, everything. Let me cut this bunch off here. Yeah, these are Armillaria malea, because you can see they have a little ring right there. There are other varieties of honey mushrooms, but this is the most common one. So I'm not gonna take all these because they're actually everywhere. Over there's some, over there's some. There's a cluster. I'm just gonna take a little handful of the smallest caps so that I can just cook them up whole. Nice. Wow. I know I just got some honey mushrooms, but holy crap. Look at this. Those are Entoloma over there. Yes! Aborted Entoloma. Here, I'll talk about these more here in a second. But oh my gosh, look at these. Over there. I'm sure there's more around here too. I'm actually going to come back to these on my way. Like, I'm going to walk up this trail a little bit further and turn around, and I'll talk more about this here in a second. I just had to stop and show you this. Wow. Okay, I didn't really find anything down the last quarter mile of that trail worth talking about, so I just stopped back here. One thing I wanted to say, if you see large clusters of these honey mushrooms like this, definitely keep an eye out in the immediate vicinity, because more often than not, you're going to also find aborted Entoloma growing with this, or at least in close proximity, because aborted Entoloma are actually two different kinds of mushrooms. This is the mycelium of the Entoloma fungus that has, it's still not quite clear if the Entoloma is parasiticizing the honey mushrooms or if the honey mushrooms are parasiticizing the Entoloma. The best way to describe it is they have a relationship or reaction with the honey mushrooms that produce these aborted fruiting bodies, which are really, really good to eat. These are choice edibles. People call them shrimp of the woods. I just call them aborted Entoloma. But that's actually a really nice cluster right there. Take this up, slice it up, cook it, some butter, salt and pepper. Heck yeah, man. Let me take you over to what the actual fruiting bodies of the Entoloma looks like, because we actually have a really, really nice example right here. These are the actual fruiting bodies of the Entoloma. You don't really see these all that often, so this is pretty neat. And they're just, right here is a huge cluster of them, and they're growing within maybe, what, 4 or 5 feet of these honey mushrooms. So that's really, really cool and really, really easy to identify. Just the sheer variety of mushrooms growing right now is staggering. No, that is not a parasol, so we're just going to let him go. Wow, look over on this branch right here. Oh my gosh, there's just so many different kinds growing right now. This is exactly what I was hoping for. Oh, wow. Okay, here we are at another park. I actually had to cut my other park visit short because I had to jump start my car's battery. It looks like I need a new battery, which is fine. But just driving in here, here's the road that I drove down to park my car. Just driving in here, I saw a couple mushrooms that are worth looking at, so let's go find them. They should be down here somewhere. Okay, well here we have another parasol, which is what I was kind of hoping to find here. You can see here's a good example of how the gills, while they're still like a light whitish color, they're kind of mottled with like this reddish brown, like these reddish brown dots whenever they get a little older, yet they're still perfectly edible. But over here I can see another parasol mushroom that's in much nicer condition. That one is really nice. I'm actually going to take a picture of this before I pick it, just because it's so nice. But look at that. That's what they look like whenever they're young. That's what they look like whenever they're a little older. And in this state, they're still good to eat. Like, you'll know whenever they're not good to eat because it'll be very obvious that they're too far gone. But this is just on the cusp of still being edible. So I'm going to take a couple pictures of this, and then I'll start recording again, pick it, and I saw another one over there. All right, I got my pictures. So I'm gonna cut that off at the base, just so that I don't get a bunch of dirt with it. Oh yes. See how the gills are a nice pure creamy white. We have that nice movable ring right here, and scales that rub off with light pressure. So Macrolepiota procera. 2 parasol mushrooms here at the same park so far. Let's see what else we can find. Nice. We have 2 more parasol mushrooms right here. 1, 2. Another thing that's a good indication of a parasol mushroom is this very disproportionately skinny long stalk compared to the cap. See how skinny that is? They're pretty robust, so they obviously hold the weight of the mushroom up, but they almost look like they shouldn't be like that. It almost looks like it's like a mutation or a misformed mushroom or something. But this is what you want to look for. Long, skinny, disproportionately skinny stalk, top with like these little warty things that are part of the cap whenever it's first growing. I think these originally grow in like almost like a button form, and then these little pieces are the remnants of that button form. They have a little nipple on top, and then, like I said before, movable ring, little scales that rub off with light pressure, pure white gills, no green tint, no yellow tint, and the slight smell of stinky socks. Excellent. And another parasol mushroom. Parasols like kind of open fields like this. They do grow in, like woodlands and stuff, but they also grow really well in lawns or, just like fields with a bunch of grass in them that haven't been cut in a while. There we go. Beautiful. One more to add to the bag. Let's keep going. Well, I thought this little guy was injured, but I guess he's just he can almost fly, but he's just a little too young to fly. So he seems to be in good shape, so I'll just put him back down. Say bye-bye. He's not happy with me. Wow, guys, look at this. Nice cluster there. There's one right there. One, and one down there. This is actually such a nice cluster. I'm going to use these to make a YouTube short about parasol mushrooms real quick before I pick them. Nice. Holy crap, look at the size of this milk mushroom, dude. Wow. Hygrophora, yep. Lactifluous hygrophorides. You can see the latex seeping out there. That's a really nice size one too. I broke a little bit off there, but it's okay. Wow. I think there might be a couple over here as well. Ah, no, these are those weird gilled boletes. They look like boletes from the top, but they have gills. Okay. Dang, man. Let's keep going. Man, yet another nice cluster of crown tip coral. And look at that. Some kind of little gilled mushroom growing in the midst of them. That's kind of elegant. This has been a fruitful, pun intended, day of mushroom hunting. Wow. All right, everybody. I'm back. Everything's on the counter. And here's today's haul. Honey mushrooms. Really nice milk mushroom. Aborted adenoma. Just a little cluster of chanterelles. A nice big pile of crown tip coral. A gigantic pile of parasols, Macrolepiota procera. I stopped keeping count after like 15. And 2 little boletes here. I'm not quite sure. I'm not gonna, like, I had these in their own bag. I don't know for sure what kind these are, so I'm going to see if I can identify them. If they're edible, I'll cook them up. If not, then I'll throw them out in the woods. Yeah, this was a really, really good day. I'm gonna clean these up. It's gonna take me a while, and then I'm gonna cook them up and eat them. All right, guys, thank you for watching. I'll see you next video. Bye-bye. Hey guys, real quick. Now that we're over 1/3 of the way to 1,000 subscribers, I'm planning on doing a giveaway once I do reach that milestone. Help me get to that point, and I guarantee there will be more frequent and better quality videos. Plus, you'll have the opportunity to enter a giveaway for some cool science and or mushroom-related prizes. I really want to give at least a little something back to the people who have encouraged and motivated me to continue posting videos on this channel. Your likes, comments, and shares help more than you realize, so keep them coming. And if you're new to the channel, I invite you to please subscribe if you liked what you saw. Thank you for everything that you do, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.